Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Bomba right here on your Boom Radio NG. And my name is Ola Dolukwa. Okay.
But somebody cannot even be themselves anymore. I'll be waiting up in Gongo.
Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry. Pardon me. Your name is Ola Dolukwa, eh? Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Shola Rogers. Welcome to the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG, reaching you from very, very chill Lagos, Nigeria. It's New Music Friday, and trust me, Nigerian artists took this thing literally when we said new music. They just went to town on it, and I'm excited.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that. There are a few entertainment stories that we're going to be passing through. There are a lot of sports stories, World Cup qualifiers. Is on, so we're going to be talking a lot about that as well. And then there's also a lot of gist happening around, so we would get to those ones as well if time permits us. So sit back, relax, and let's enjoy today's show. Now, first things first, it is New Music Friday, so there's a lot of music. Before today, a few people dropped a few songs. One of the very interesting songs, I think over the week we had even talked about it, is D'banj. D'banj had decided to, I think do a bit of rebranding and release the new song. He's still celebrating his 20 years on stage. So he released a song, Coco, and kind of expected. A song called Coco. However, he had posted, the day it got released, he had posted and talked about how he's grateful to Olamide for gifting him this particular song. So I think that's nice because by the time you listen to this song, it kind of feels, it doesn't feel like the usual or the D'banj we've listened to of late. Shout out to him, but no songs I don't. But of course, this was definitely sounded different. This sounded better, and I think that I know that an album is coming his way, coming from him in a couple of weeks. I'm hoping that it does more with works with a lot more producers, works with a lot more songwriters, and I think that people, he too is beginning to get it. Like, you always can't do everything all by yourself, especially when your sound is not evolving the way music is evolving. So you need to work with a lot more people, broaden your horizon. And I think with this particular song, if he can continue on this trajectory, I think we're seeing a new dimension of D'banj.
Oh, well, new dimension, or maybe the old D'banj coming back, better. But at the end of the day, it just shows that you need to evolve. The music industry and the scene is constantly changing, their influences, and you what do they say? Adapt or die. You understand? And you find that you remember one or two artists from not too long ago, and you'll be like, oh, where's this person? Or where's that person? Problem is that the person has probably failed to adapt. You get? So 5 years, 10 years down the line,
have to go with the flow.
Yeah. 5 years, 10 years down the line, you find that the person is still there, but they're just not prominent anymore. So adapt or die. And I think D'banj has gotten it right this time with this is since 04, 20 years celebration album. The songs that I've dropped so far, they're very, very good songs. The songs that they'll hold their own. And again, this particular song, Coco, that Olamide wrote for him, he has a unique dance.
Yeah, it does.
And I like it. And it looks like the kind of dance that can push the song.
That will catch on.
That we see people do that.
Exactly.
Coco dance.
So it's nice. It's actually nice to hear this kind of things. Now, moving on from that, I'm talking about people's albums, or would I say EPs, or what's it called? One very interesting one is Falz. Falz decided to take us back to the old Falz with his EP Before the Feast.
every song on that EP, you know, is very, very good. The EP features Crayon, you know, maybe not artist Crayon on one of those songs. There's another one, is a rival in quotes. I don't mean it like that because I know they are cool. They call it Gold. Who go pay, you know? Then there's one song that has Shebo. Shebo is a UK-based Nigerian rapper. She's amazing. You know, she has a unique style. And Fino, you know. And Fino has been busy a lot these days.
Oh, yeah,
on a lot
he
of
has.
features
He
and
definitely
all of that.
has.
So when you look at all of those collaborations and even the ones that he did all by himself, I'm like, yeah, this is vintage files.
Yeah, this is the old files, and he's working. I think he's working. The funny thing is that in the last couple of months, he's dropped a lot of stuff that I'm not sure he caught on so much. Maybe his own evolving stage as well, but maybe it didn't catch on as much. But I think this EP would actually do well. It actually really, really does sound nicely. It actually does sound nice. Another album that we're going to be talking about is Thames. Thames finally her album that has a very anticipated album, Born in the Wild.
The thing about Thames, there's a lot to say. There's a lot to unpack. You get.
Okay.
It is rare for someone without an album to have this much acclaim.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it is rare. And Thames falls into that realm. You know, she falls into that category of artists who just drop one single or two or three and boom, they're everywhere and they're doing very well. And that's what made me hope for a good album. Because again, it is scary that without an album, you already have a global stage, you know, that you can jump onto. You already won Grammys twice. You get, Abby? It was twice, Abby? Or once. But she said she's won the Grammys. She's won major awards. And she didn't have an album.
Mm-hmm.
Then you now look at it. She's collaborated and done stuff on Black Panther, Rihanna, you know.
Yeah, done a lot with a lot of people.
So she finally dropped this album, and this album is good. I'm not done listening to all the songs. I've listened to the feature with J. Cole. You know, it's a nice song. And the verse, there's another song that she has, Ashake. You know, like Ira, like Thames. And I'm glad that they're both cool with each other. She has something with Ashake also. A lot of people are talking about Ashake's verse.
Looks like everybody
on that
is
album.
having something to do with Ashake.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
it's almost like your album is not complete without an Ashake.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. But you know, good work with everybody.
Born in the Wild is so soulful. The title track, you know, it's a good album. I've listened to about 7 songs. I think they're about 16 or 18 tracks. It's actually a proper album. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not those 8-9 track albums that should be.
No, I think that
should be EPs.
No, I think we're past that now. I think a lot of people have realized
they're not
that
lazy
those
anymore.
Those things can't pass as albums anymore. Now moving on from that, LAX decided to drop Loke.
Lovely flow, lovely rhythm. LAX has been busy, but in everything that he has done so far this year and last year, this is my favorite. Loke.
Yeah, I think it's actually a nice song. I listened to that one as well. I think it's not doing badly at all. Also, Ruga decided to, you know, step into the ring again and drop another song, Love Again. In fact, I think it was two songs. He dropped. It was 2 songs he dropped actually. He decided to step in the ring again and, you know, give us some lovey-dovey.
Is it exactly lovey-dovey, Sha? Because sometimes when you listen to the message in these songs,
I don't even know, but you know, I think it's the regular Ruga, and you know, it was not doing badly at all. Pretty Boy Dio decided to give us a song featuring Fino with Shame on You. as well. That is actually a nice song. The honest truth is that Fino brings a completely different angle to your song.
Yeah, just like he did in the feature with Shabo and Fowles.
Yeah, it's different. So there's some people that their sound is just different, and it works. That's the funny thing. His sound works almost all the time when you listen to a Fino feature. Now also, TXC decided to, I'm guessing the South African. This person in South African decided to feature Davido.
Yeah. I didn't listen to that one.
Oh, yes, I did. It was your typical, but it is Davido. The way there's just a switch. Even though the sound, there's an original African sound to it, but Davido just brings his own to it. There's nothing people can say about it. It is what it is anyway. So there are a lot of songs out there. Teiwa and Lemav dropped Feels. Waje also has an EP, SHDB. Solid Stuff.
Have you found out what that means?
No, I've not.
I'll look into it because most of them do this.
Funny enough, I listened to a few of the songs, but I don't know why I never even figured out what that means. So I would look through it. Solid Star released Necessary, and I think I'm happy for Solid Star. I remember there's been a lot of issues around his mental health and all that. So if he's back to making songs, it really is time to actually support someone like this. Yeah,
he was billed to perform at Sheila's show in Abuja last week, and I think he did, but I didn't watch the show. I've not seen any snippets, but I think he eventually made it to that episode.
That would
it's
be
good to have him back because the guy is extremely talented.
He is definitely. Is Emo Gray also? Wait, Emma Gray is the one that had a song with Benson. Oh yeah, it was Benson. Yeah. Then and the song was, where is he? Anyway, he released the song Youth. Majid has California and Roller Coaster. Oladibs. Which one is Oladibs? Oladibs is the
Dead on Dead. Back again.
Oh, okay, rapper. Okay, I get it. With Rexy as T-Button. And there are a lot of songs out there this weekend, but definitely be sure that the best of them would be played on Boom Radio NG between now from 5 p.m. today, tomorrow, and Sunday. We're going to play you all things new music on Boom Radio NG, so definitely you can catch that. But we're not done with
music and entertainment
gist. Now, moving on from that, we're going to be talking about some very I don't want to say sad story, but kind of sad actually, where now there's updates coming from autopsy that was done on late Mohbad. And now there is after the release of the updates of the autopsy, there's talks about a probable you put your hair drug reaction that caused the death of the singer.
Yeah. In clear terms, it's something that we had already anticipated and talked about here. That a lot of people had gone ahead to conduct their own investigations, independent of any scientific or reasonable approach. Everybody had been driven. A lot of people have been driven by their emotions, and everything. And I get it, but when it comes to matters of life and death, I think it's always better to try and do a proper, investigation and stick to the facts, like Dolupo pointed out. And now that there's a verified autopsy, saying that there's probable mix-up of, a combination of, more or less, that's what they're saying, combination of, not drugs now, medication. There's a possibility.
Keeping in mind that there is a quack involved in all this.
Yeah, there's some
loss and all that. And I think that this actually should, it's something we all need to learn from. Funny enough, it's not the first time it's happening. We can mention 2, 3, 4 Nigerians, very prominent Nigerians that have died from
a similar
incident. And I remember, here at the bar, we actually spoke about this thing a lot, that because of a lot of things surrounding the last hours of him being alive, it's most likely a lot of it was almost like as if we had predicted this thing. And like I said, it's something we all need to learn from. If you are not, I think that we do not have the hospital culture in Nigeria. I think we don't, except we, me included, I'll not even lie. Except you can almost not walk. You will not go to a hospital. We all self-medicate. Worse off, you not just only self-medicate. Some people, or a lot of people, don't even let me lie, or don't even let me sugarcoat it. A lot of people now get they're quack. Don't even let me put another. Don't even let me try to be nice about it. Quack people. Actually nurses. People that you hear they are, what's the English that they use for them? Auxiliary nurses.
Yeah.
Until you actually check, they're nothing like auxiliary nurses. There's no school for an auxiliary nurse. Funny enough, you hear these things a lot, especially with private hospitals.
Yeah.
Where they get substandard people, and then you wonder. He said that the person went to learn. You don't go and learn. It's not like you are going to learn tailoring.
Learn a
or
trade.
to turn it to like it's a trade. It's not a trade. We're talking about people's lives here, and it's something that you hear a lot. Because I've come to realize, maybe because I was privy, or maybe I graduated being a science student, and a medical. Being in the medical environment a lot, I realized there's nothing like that. And then any nurse or doctor or even pharmacist that is certified will not do some things for you. They will not.
Yeah. Because
they know that the certificate is at stake.
And there's a process to everything.
So the minute you start hearing someone say, I'll come and give you drip, you should know there is a problem somewhere.
No, so do you have a problem with certified people going to give people drips at home?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why do you?
Now, a lot of times, the sterility of the environment is very, very, very important.
Okay, if it's not something that requires that.
Like what?
Say, for instance, it's some kind of fever, malaria or something, and the person is dehydrated and you need to...
Oh, no. You need a certain level of sterile area. And especially because in people's homes, you cannot determine those things. A lot of people tell you that they can't.
What happens to the concept of bespoke healthcare?
When it becomes things that you start, other than medication, when you start having to administer things like drips for people, you see how they tell you, let's go to a hospital. A lot of people tell you that they don't like the smell of hospitals and that it smells funny. The most of the time, it is the smell of disinfectants and all that is constantly being used in those places to keep it as sterile as possible.
Okay, so again, what about during COVID when medical personnel had to go treat people?
Yes, of course. COVID was a peculiar incident because even getting to the hospital could make you sicker. That was the only reason.
Then what about when there is a need for a triage, especially outdoors? What level of sterility or whatever is possible?
It's a triage. Most of the time, you don't even get treated. The point of a triage is to determine who needs what, and people that need a sterile environment will not be kept outside, will not be treated outside. The whole point of a triage is just to check the level of healthcare different people need at a particular time. And the only reasons why those things happen is because if there are a huge number of casualties or an accident at the same time. But most likely, especially if it is not required, you will not be treated outside a hospital. It's just, let's be as safe as possible. And the sad part is that most of the time, okay, even if you are self-medicating and you end up getting to a hospital, most of the time, at least you know what you took. Half of the times when these nurses or these auxiliary nurses or whatever come, half of the times you don't even know what is put in it. So you get to a hospital, they now ask you what did you take, and you can't even say exactly what the thing is that you have been given in a drip. I take, for example, I have a friend who says that a landlady is very, has some nurse that is always treating her. I said she noticed that at least twice a month, she's always treating typhoid, and they're always setting drips for her. And like, why are you always ill? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Don't you think you need to go to a hospital to figure out? He said that the first time that in a month, he said she was ill one time. Then a few weeks after, she passed by her house and she said she was getting a drip. And like, what is wrong with you? He said that the nurse said that the infection didn't leave completely. Are you kidding me? We need to stop those things. Those behavior needs to stop. We cannot continue to put our lives at risk just because it's cheaper or is less stress. At times, that stress has saved millions of lives. Has saved your life, me included. I don't even let me start with my own. That stress we're running away from has probably saved someone's life. So please, our healthcare is not perfect, but at least I still feel very strongly that if someone like Mohbad had gone to a proper hospital, he most likely would be alive. I don't know, but I think that, especially with the situation of things around his death, I think that he probably would still be alive if things were done by the book. So basically, sure, that's it.
So do it by the books and avoid all the unqualified.
Yes.
Medical.
Just go to a hospital. That just saves you a lot of, because at least in a proper hospital, you're almost sure everybody attending to you is qualified. That just saves everybody a lot of headache. Now, before we leave entertainment, it's very interesting how a court has now announced that Multichoice has been fined 150 million naira and also ordered to give Nigerians 1 month subscription of their DSTV or their GoTV. And basically what they're saying is that they defied a court order.
So I have a problem with this your story, this DSTV story. As much as look, I don't subscribe to DSTV anymore. I've not done that in 3 years or so, since COVID anyway. But I don't understand why they are being forced to give people free views.
Right now, they're saying that it is punishment.
For what?
Now, they said that there was a court order, and DSTV still went ahead to still collect monies. Remember, they had told them to halt.
The court
yes,
order.
disregarding the court order. Remember, they had told them to halt the increase until when the case is determined in court. But they still went ahead, and in fact, I remember that there were talks of saying that they're going to cut people off if people don't pay. And yes, I know a couple of people that actually had to pay those monies for them not to be cut off to watch TV. So now they're saying that you should have at least followed the order before you complain. Basically, obey before complain. So because you did not obey, the Competition and Consumer Protection Tribunal now fined them 150 million naira, and they're supposed to give people compensation, 1 month free subscription.
Well, I don't know, but that feels a tad bit draconian, but I know a lot of their customers will be happy, and I know that people are really not happy with their decision to increase their cost. But again, let's look at it from the business angle. They also are incurring extra, expenses now that the dollar, keeps rising and rising, and the bulk of their content is actually, some of their content, which is what people really want, beyond the locally sourced content, the content that they pay for outside Africa will cost them dollars. They need dollars to buy them, So I just wish that we would be fair on all businesses, though. That's just my own take.
Okay, so we'll see where that what they're going to say. There's not been an official statement from them yet. Are they all still going to obey the court order again, or they're going to go back for an appeal? We will definitely get an update from that. However, I want to talk a bit about the CAF World Cup qualifiers, but a game is going on now. So before the end of the show, we would go back and then we can give you a lot of updates from yesterday and today. And the one still going to happen later today. Yeah, Nigeria is playing today at 8 p.m. But we will get back to that. Interestingly, now let's come back to a bit of news where the federal government is supposed to announce a new minimum wage today. I think the meeting they had is supposed to be 5 days. So it is today is supposed to be the last meeting, and there's supposed to be a lot of there's supposed to be an announcement today. However, in the last couple of days, there's been a lot of story going around. There was talks about how governors talked about a 105,000 naira minimum wage, and how
rumors.
Yeah, there's been talks of the federal government talking about a 105,000 naira minimum wage,
debunked.
and the governors cannot pay. Now the federal government had debunked and said that they do not have that. They did not see anything like that. Also, there's also been rumors that the governors have said that they cannot afford more than 70,000 naira, and they're using Edo State as a benchmark that is already paying this 70,000 naira minimum wage. But all this, we do not have a concrete conversation yet. There definitely has to be. There will be a conversation. They will have to come out with an official statement today to know what exactly will be going on. Will there be a strike next week or not? Now, still talking about the strike, yesterday I saw a headline and I saw a story where talking about this and being at this meeting, the SGF, that's the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, had talked about shutting down the national grid and calling it treasonable felony, and that it cannot continue to happen. Also, still talking about the minimum wage, a former APC spokesperson, Timmy Frank, had urging the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC, basically labor unions, not to accept anything less than 250,000 naira minimum wage. Now that he is saying that a few days ago, the National Assembly had passed the bill agreeing to increase the judicial officers' salaries by 300%.
Okay.
So he is now saying that if they can increase salaries of these people by 300%, then you should be able to also increase the salaries of the workers, general workers, by 300%. Yeah.
So by 300%, them earning 30,000 naira, 300% will be
100% is 90,000. 300%.
100% cannot be 90,000.
Okay, 60,000.
Exactly.
60,000. 6 times 3, about 180,000 naira.
Okay. So his calculation is off.
Yes.
Do you get?
Yes.
That's one. Two. Mr. Timmy Frank is PDP, right? He's a PDP spokesperson and all.
Oh, now? Okay, I don't know where he is now.
He's PDP, Labour, he's opposition, your bottom line is. So, of course, he's playing opposition politics, which is understandable. However, when was the last time judges got an increase in Nigeria? Did he?
Okay, so judicial officers, it's not about.
I mean, judicial officers, judges, whatever.
No, that's why I actually wanted to ask a question. That judicial officers, are they talking about just the judges or everybody that works?
Well, I know that the government had promised to
the judges,
to work on the judges' salaries, so that's why I said judges.
Okay.
But I don't know if it includes everybody that works in the judiciary, because most of them will be on a particular salary scale anyway. So we should know that it's most likely about the judges. And it's a very simple question. When was the last time these people got any increase? We know that Nigerian workers got a bump 5 years ago. Although before 5 years, nobody was keeping to the
5 years.
5 yearly.
Yeah, nobody was.
Wage increase and all of that. So, I think that in playing opposition politics, to a large extent, all is fair in love and war. and opposition politics. I'm adding that one to the list. So Mr. Frank knows what he's doing, and he's a smart politician. And if I was in his shoes, I would milk it too, and encourage Labour to go all out. But on the flip side, my own is that in Labour's fight for increased wages, please don't make things worse for the average Nigerian.
My own is that you put no.
Don't touch the national grid.
I'm saying it again.
And don't force essential workers to go on strike, with you.
I'm saying it again.
And don't go to hospitals to go and chase people out of surgery.
This fight is not going to end anytime soon, because the gist is not even the gist. The conversation is people's paying 18,000 naira minimum wage. Governors that are paying that money, are we just going to bump them to whatever it is? I think that the best at this point that a lot of states might get is states that are not paying the 30,000 naira minimum wage would most likely maybe officially now get the 30,000 which was 5 years ago gist.
And now people are supposed to get
they are going back
3 or 4 times that amount.
But they were what's it called now? They were collecting 2011 money before. They are okay with it. So anyway, so we'll see where that drama is going. But it's obvious that all this NLC TUC drama with minimum wage will not end anytime soon. Just wanted to put that out there. Also, the federal government has reopened the rehabilitated Lagos to Kano rail line. And I know that it's not standard gauge, but I think basically what it's supposed to do is supposed to carry more of goods.
It's a freight train.
Yeah, so I think that it's something.
Yeah, the beauty of it is that every time that train rolls out of Lagos en route Kano via about 4 stops, Ibadan and New Buza and 1 or 2 other places, just picture at least 10 or 12 trucks getting off the road, if not more.
Yeah, it's something.
I don't know how we allowed the rail system to die in this country, but I must say kudos to the government that has brought it back. Standard gauge, single gauge, whatever gauge
is moving.
They're moving goods now.
Literally, the train is moving.
The port to the interland, using less resources, and the timing too is not bad. 2 or 3 days, they get to Kano. You understand? So this would have a ripple effect on the long run, because definitely when people find out how efficient it is, they would jump on it. It's going to pass through Kaduna too, I think, and do some drop-offs if they have any,
Okay.
So this is a fantastic thing to happen to transportation and haulage in Nigeria.
Yes. Now, let's move on from that and go to the House of Reps, where the House of Reps have now passed a bill to create a new state in the southeast. It's supposed to be called Orlu State. And there's been a lot of conversation around it. Yeah. However, indigenous people of Biafra, I know that they're not in the grand scheme of things. That conversation.
So why are you giving them prominence?
No, it's newsworthy. They are now saying that they do not want another state that is still talking about the referendum, and that they are not a terrorist organization.
Yeah, well, they should tell that to the judges. One of the things that the Southeast would get is a balance. Okay. Virtually every region in Nigeria has a minimum of 6 states, except the Southeast. They have 5. So it's not necessarily an increment in population. You can't write that into law.
It's not an increment in...
But it is an increment...
In, in land.
It is an increment in representation. It is, again, an ability for the state to create, to bring governance closer to the people. Now, the people of Orlu, I think Orlu is in Imo State.
Yeah, it's going to be the capital of the state. They're saying that portions of the state to be taken from Imo, Abia, and Anambra State.
Yeah. So when you create a new state now, you're going to have a governor. When you get a governor and a deputy governor, you would have a cabinet. There will be a state house of assembly. There'll be local governments created. There'll be 3 senators and
Okay.
X number of House of Rep members. Now, these people can now go to the assembly with the other 5 states that the East have and sponsor bills like referendum. It's the truth. If that's what they want, or basically fight and give the Southeast a stronger voice. But it's a fact that they have only 5 states in the Southeast. So it's not about the land mass, because I just know that every time you create more government, you are bringing, when you create more government structures, you are bringing governance closer to the people. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
That's the way I see it. I like the idea of wanting to, take it to...
Because I saw it and I'm like, okay, it's not going to change the landmass. It's not going to change the population.
It's not about landmass or population. It's more about governance. It's more about, balance. It's more about politics, But it's politics and governance now. Because a governor of an Orlu State definitely will be dedicated towards, hopefully, developing his state.
Okay, just wanted to also put this out there. The NNPP have suspended their gubernatorial candidates in Edo State. Please, when is Edo election?
Well, the elections are in a few months' time, and I didn't even know the NNPP were playing in Edo because they come across as a Kano State party.
Yeah, wicked.
Saying that they actually provided the people of Kano with the governor. They sponsored the governor, and that's the only place where they actually have an executive position, right?
Yeah, same way Abga earlier has one state.
I didn't say Abga was a national party.
I'm just saying.
I didn't say
Labour Party has only one
What you
governor.
have done is to validate what I said.
No, Labour Party has only one governor. Is it not a national party?
What you have done is just to validate.
No.
Everything you have done.
Are you saying that Labour Party is not a national party?
Everything you have done is to validate what I've said.
No.
And again, I'm going to reiterate it. NNPP got about 1 million votes in Kano.
Mm-hmm.
And they won the governorship election.
Yeah.
They were taken to court. They still won in the courts.
Yeah.
Shows that they are strong and they are on ground, at least for the next 3 years. They are in charge of Kano State.
Mm-hmm.
APGA has always been in charge of Anambra for as far back as you can remember.
Yeah.
And they haven't won any governorship in any other state.
Yeah.
So they're an Anambra party.
So is Labour Party and Abia Party?
No. In the sense that Labour, even as House of Rep members in Lagos. Do you see the difference now? They have a senator in Abuja. It's different. That's a national spread. They have people in different parts of the country. You can't compare Labour Party and APGA or Labour Party and NNPP. No matter how much noise the NNPP people will make, they didn't make any inroad to other parts of the country. That's the truth. And that's a fact.
Anyway, Sha.
And that's on period.
Which was a period. What are you perioding? Anyway, we're moving on from that. And we're talking about a few conversations about the roads in Nigeria. So NEMA has warned of Zamfara states high risk flooding in 8 local government areas in Zamfara state. Please, when are you going to warn about the flooding in Lagos State?
Yeah, yesterday Lagos was on virtual shutdown. And the most affected area was actually from the outskirts, from Ogun State into Lagos.
Yeah.
But we were fortunate or unfortunate to have been in the center of Lagos yesterday, talking about Surulere, where that rain, yes, it did not rain for 5 hours. I think it rained for about an hour or so.
Yeah, but it was quite a number.
But
it was a lot
the
of rain.
volume of rain that they had, and driving around Surulere after the rain, it was heartbreaking.
Oh, it was
the
horrible.
entire Surulere was underwater. They were flooded. we were wading through rivers in Lagos.
Rivers, yes, it was really, really, really bad yesterday, and especially when you now see it firsthand. You see how canals have become gutters. Then you now realize that yes, you almost cannot say anything when you see Lagos State officials take down buildings because of the things that people have done. I saw it firsthand yesterday, and I'm like, are you joking? It's a ridiculous thing, and it's obvious that the rains are not stopping anytime soon. So people need to be careful the kind of things that we do. Oh, however, also if they're listening, I don't know if it's the federal government. Whatever happened on Long Bridge yesterday cannot happen again.
Yeah, should not ever happen again. It was hellish. People who left their offices in the evening found themselves getting home in the morning.
Yeah, they were stuck for hours because of flood.
Every time I find floods on the bridge, I'm in awe of the possibility. Like the bridge is supposed to take you over water in many cases, not necessarily water all the time.
Yeah, stuck in water. Make it make sense.
I don't know, man.
It definitely cannot. We can't continue.
So you're fixing the expansion valves
like that.
You're fixing the surface of the bridge, but what about the water outlets?
Yeah,
they drain.
It's such a very small, tiny part, but it's very integral. Of course, we saw the damage that could do yesterday. Now, going back, still talking about roads, the FRSC, the Federal Road Safety Corps, and this one I'm particularly happy about. And they said, and I quote, one-way drivers, for people that do not understand, people that drive
against traffic, one-way drivers, and they were very specific, one-way drivers on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway now to undergo psychiatric tests. Yeah.
What does that mean? Madness.
Yeah.
For you to drive in the opposite direction, and what's the definition of madness? When everybody is going one way, only you decide that this way is the only way that everybody's passing.
Not only him and all the people behind him.
All of you in that category. When we're in Nigeria, where you are supposed to be driving on the right side of the road every single time. Whether you are going and coming, you should be on the right side of the road, yeah? But you decide and you feel that, no, today I want to drive like people in the UK. Madness. That's it. Complete and utter madness.
Madness. I wish there was an actual word that could be used.
Malady.
People have lost their
schizophrenic
lives just by standing on the right side of the road, waiting to board a bus or a taxi, and one madman, one colo idiot, is driving against traffic at top speed. And one of the funny things that happens that, for your own good, if you're ever in that situation, if you're in Nigeria and you see a car driving at you, please leave the road for them. Don't claim right, though. Don't say it's my right. I am the owner of the road.
You're not careful.
The law
they
says
will land you inside water.
So look at how crazy that becomes. I remember that the last year there was a story of a lady that got mowed down by a person driving. We call it one way in Nigeria, driving against traffic. Another guy
died.
too last year.
Too many people have died.
This happens, a lot. So psychiatric evaluation.
Yeah. And they're thrown in jail.
Yeah.
So Bukola Medubi says they just came back from UK and SA. Don't blame them.
Yeah. So one way they're driving on the right side of the road.
Madness.
I like it. I like it.
This
UK thing. Just pray that whenever you're in London or South Africa, that you don't fall prey, because I can't count the number of times.
Yes, now you realize that you're not driving.
I'm trying to get on a bus, and instead of me to stay, I came out of the house. I'm supposed to stay here to get a bus because I know where we're going. I now cross to the other side. And in Australia too. Sadly, during the Commonwealth Games a couple of years ago that Nigeria went to, a Nigerian athlete who had not qualified for the games, but his girlfriend was one of the top athletes, so he also went there, and he was on the other side of the road jogging, as a Nigerian in Australia, and he actually got mowed down because he didn't understand.
He didn't understand how it works.
It's
Okay,
risky.
so Peterman said Kaduna South is in need of a state. The Southeast doesn't need another state.
For political reasons.
For political
I
reasons,
disagree with
yes.
you.
Is Kaduna not in the northwest? Kaduna is in northwest. I think northwest already has 7 states.
No, but I really think that they need to have their own state. Okay, so state creation still needs to happen more. But for now, as a matter of importance, I think that we should have that balance. This is the only region with 5 states. Yes, people are going to talk about land mass. They're going to tell me about at least 4 states that are bigger than the entire...
Yes, now. That's where I'm coming from. Population-wise and all that.
Yeah, but that's not the only reason for state creation. You understand? I like the idea. I know that there have been people who have been clamoring for the creation of Ijebu State, which is something that's going to be carved out of
Ogun State
and Lagos. They're going to take Ikorodu, and some part of Ogun State and create that.
There's been talks of Ibadan State.
Yeah, Ibadan State is long overdue. Ibadan is that big. Ibadan is that big.
Agree.
But the Southern Kaduna State is a state that I also think should be created. So I agree with you on that one. But I think the Southeast should.
Peterman says we don't need more states. Rather, we need more local governments with true independence. Bukola Medibi says I agree with him. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I know that you guys know Kaduna very well. So okay, yeah, it's all right.
Peterman says yes. Divide that. Oh my God. Ogo into 3.
Is it fight? You're lucky that the Ogun people have not checked in today.
Oh my God. I honestly think that I agree with the fact that there needs to be a lot more representation. Take, for example, local government. But it can't really happen until we get the local government system right.
Don't look what it's 2 things. Let's not fool ourselves. We're at the point where, of course, we have to speak the truth all the time. The state creation that is going on now is not based on development majorly. It's based on politics. But what he talked about, what Peterman talked about, local government, is Nigeria's solution.
Yeah.
The solution to development in Nigeria is a free, functional local government. Look at how in the UK, because we must learn from them. So that's why we use those examples. You want housing. It's local government that you go to.
Yeah.
Do they even have governor in UK? Do you understand? They don't even have governors. Do they? They don't. In America, they have governors. They have all of that, aldermen and all of that.
Those are people that are like closest to you.
But a functional local government will move Nigeria from point A to point 100 in such a short time. So I get that part. I agree. But you see, state creation at the moment, especially Orlu State, is more of political.
Okay, but my issue with that is that why, if we're really talking about development, why does it have to be about politics? Shouldn't we first find a solution to how, what's it called? There is a lot of, because let's call it spade a spade. There needs to be a lot of development in the Southeast. I saw a video a few days ago of so Bukola Medibi says, please, where is Tokes Rogers, please?
Tokes Rogers is in training.
Is in training. BT616 says the big for nothing Oyo State. Okay. I honestly think
Oyo people are coming for you.
I personally think that Oyo State is too big for one person.
It's very big.
I think that
it's very big.
For there to be a lot more development, Ibadan alone.
Ibadan is massive.
So really and truly, I think that it needs to be broken up. I honestly think it does. However, so like what I was saying, as much as why do we have to add politics to everything? I saw a video a few days ago of a very prominent Nigerian socialite that is from Ibom, right from the Southeast, and he was complaining about how he doesn't go home anymore, about how the insecurity, about he's even sad because it's his own kinsmen that actually give information to these bandits or terrorists, and that they get to kill a lot of people. So a lot of people don't want to go back to the east, and it's causing a lot of underdevelopment in that area.
Yeah. So again, whatever he said is his own reality, is his own truth. I know you're talking about Cubana chief priest, and people came for him. They are still coming for him, especially people from the southeast. They are not happy with the statement that he has made. But he's a bold person. He's not someone that cowers easily because of.
But the honest truth is that I'm not even saying that it's completely
to his own reality.
His own reality, his own truth.
However,
what if we actually sit down and look at it and not just be angry for anything?
Yeah, but we still cannot remove politics from everything, because that's the vehicle that we use to achieve governance.
So Peterman says Nigeria functioned well with 12 states.
Yeah, in the 70s.
That's 70s.
Yeah.
There are a lot more people now. The population.
You know, a lot of people never heard about Gongola State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The truth is that, whether we like it or not, population alone cannot let us have 12 states anymore. BT616 says
you can't read it like that. The old people.
I don't know how to read.
The old people. If you want to read it, go to YouTube.
Some people want us to believe the southeast is Dubai.
What if it is? Have you been there?
It's not. Let's be.
Have you been there?
There is no part of Nigeria that is even Dubai. So I beg.
Abuja?
No, it's not.
Abuja is.
Abuja is not Dubai.
Abuja is America. With the size of the roads and the road network. Okay. The only problem I have with Abuja are the drivers. They don't. They're mad people.
Abuja is not even Dubai. Talk less of.
Who told you? Abuja is Dubai.
I know.
Eco Atlantic is Dubai.
Eco Atlantic. Okay.
Eco Atlantic.
It's
almost Dubai.
Eco Miami.
Yeah. But BT616, you're going to put somebody in trouble.
I don't know about what you're saying.
Put somebody in trouble. But yes, at times you speak your truth and they come for you. But I think when they act like that, that means you're actually speaking the truth.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. Peterman says the federal government needs to force the sale of these empty mansions in Abuja.
Yeah.
Housing shortage in the capital is a problem.
Yeah. You know, and there even there was a particular estate that I saw that was virtually empty. And it's ready, like it's already constructed.
So much money is.
It cannot be Lagos.
It cannot be Lagos.
Lagos, if you don't rent it out, they will move in.
Don't we remember a few weeks
people
ago?
Living in
Ikoyi. They don't even have problem. Peterman says the housing shortage in the capital is a problem. Yes, I agree. But
problem.
You know, they're very, very nice people. They like to obey the laws.
You know, but you know, again, you know, there's this rumor about how a lot of people use real estate to tie down funds. Mm-hmm. So they go and dabble into it to tie down funds.
But really, it's time to really honestly
But there should be a law.
It's time
there
to
should
check.
be a law against those things.
Even if you won't, you will even tie it down. It's time to
rent
check.
It out.
Rent it out. If you're not going to rent out, okay, those things safe. How is it? Where is the money coming from that used to buy these things?
Yeah.
See the amount of property that, take for example, Mr. Emefiele, that's using Nigeria's Commonwealth to buy all sorts of things. But anyway, we will definitely bring updates on that.
But again, before we move away from the state creation thing, I am all for the creation of Orlu State. B3616, I know you will come for me. No problem. I think you're the one that started this apostle thing, because I was defending our sisters from the southeast. No problem.
Let's take a bit of sports quickly before we go. Of course, we know that. Anyway, just want to put it out there for people that do not know, Hajj is officially not Hajj. Sallah. Sallah is officially June 16th. I'm thinking that's next
plenty
week.
Meat, man.
Sunday. Yeah, it's on
the gutters
Sunday.
Are going to get red.
It's on
and
Sunday.
The place will have.
Oh Lord. Anyway,
fried
just meat. Whatever. Lots of fried meat. Now,
it's on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, free meat.
What are we doing? Anyway, Governor Umo Eno had procured all match tickets for the Super Eagles game today. So if you're in Akwa Ibom, find a way to get your hand on those tickets. Those tickets are free.
Go to the stadium.
They're saying
go and cheer on the Super Eagles.
And cheer on the Super Eagles against South Africa at 8 p.m. West African time. There are a lot of games that are going on. At the moment, the Lesotho Zimbabwe game, I think that game has ended. It's about to end. It's about 97 minutes gone.
Same scoreline
so
from the first half.
2-0. Lesotho is defeating Zimbabwe 2-0 at the moment. Like I said earlier, Nigeria is playing South Africa at 8 p.m. Also at 8 p.m. Morocco is playing Zambia. At 5 p.m. Angola is playing Eswatini. Kenya and Burundi have already played. That ended 1-1. Also at 8 p.m. Ivory Coast will be playing Gabon. Also Mozambique has now defeated Somalia 2-1.
You have comments, Dolukbo.
Oh, I do. So Bukola Medubi says June 16, shy. Oh yeah, you know.
Dance.
Okay. Shame on you people. August 16th is Isheshe Day. You better give the same energy we're watching. Oh yes, we actually did last year. We actually did announce it and all that. We just don't know people that are celebrating it. But if you are celebrating it and there's bits to it, please invite me. I will eat it.
The difference is that our brothers who are doing Isheshe Day, they don't
used to cut me. They used to kill me.
But you see our brothers who are doing Sallah.
They used to kill ram.
There's fried meat.
So Peter Man says, so our dear apostle still wants to doubt my prophecy that no team wants Osimhen in England. Oh my God.
Don't worry, market has not opened now.
Market has just opened, you know. Don't worry. We'll all be here together.
But
anyway,
the way he's consistent with this prophecy.
Are you
sure we won't put money on this thing?
Keep your prophecy. I don't even want. You should not keep his prophecy. Please. At this point. Anyway, Chelsea has officially signed Nigerian Tosin Adarabioyo on a 4-year deal.
Yeah, I know. Man United were trying to hijack that deal, but they were too slow.
And that then BT6 was there. Bring your own food there. No, I can't bring my own food.
How can I be coming to your event and I'm bringing food?
No. That's not how it works.
That's proper now. I don't want to disrespect you.
Go proper. You are the one celebrating.
I will bring my drink. Just invite us.
I'm not bringing my drink.
I will bring. You know, I always carry my water.
That's you. I'm not bringing my drink.
But please, invite us. And there's even if it's fish that you people are frying, we want to eat.
That's it. Anyway, on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Monday to give you another wonderful edition of the bar. And I hope that by Monday, we'll come back and celebrate Nigeria's Super Eagles win against South Africa.
Someone tweeted, Super Eagles beat South Africa so we can yab Ghana.
Oh my God. But Ghana already won their game.
You don't understand. Anything that happens now, Nigeria must face Ghana.
Nigeria must win today's game.
Please win.
Hello. Anyway, Bukola Medubi says Ondo City get there also.
Yes, we have our own day. That's I think it's in September, and it's the Ogun Festival. It's a big deal. A lot of people go back to Ondo.
Okay. Because I'm an Ondo man says, win, K. You are last minute people. 0-0. I don't understand.
Is it because of the strike?
What is it now? I don't like it. Goodbye.
We will win.
We are winning. We are winning.
If we don't win, I will run.